I have a new hot-end shroud for G-Tech series of printers, specifically the single extruder versions. If it's the double extruder, I'll have to do a redesign of this, mostly because I don't have a double extruder. Each of the items in this I've designed from real-life models. So we have the blower fans, and it's dual. They'll blow the air in, and then it'll go out the bottom. I had a few issues where I did not have enough clearance, but I've rectified that in this latest version, and I haven't actually printed this yet. Or actually, no, it's in progress of printing right now. Been having some little issues with the small things, so I've changed those up a little bit more. And the install method is different, but it's now really very easy. You'll simply slide in, you can simply slide in the hot end and don't have to worry about anything getting in the way. And then whenever you attach the brace, it has more screws to screw everything in place. What's cool too is that there are even bolts, so you can secure it to the carriage. But what the important part about this design isn't even necessarily the the brace or anything like that, or the hot end. The important part are the different pieces. All of these items are things that I've measured in real world, and then brought into the program and designed around it. So where really, if you have any sort of proficiency in Fusion 360, you can design around items. So then, say for example, with this heat break, I have the screw holes here, and so I can go right-click, create sketch, capture the position, and so we'll do a rectangle, and we'll go ahead and do a center rectangle. The place that we're going to start it at is the center of this, because we're designing it off of this guy, but we also, so then in this case, we want to keep in mind that we have this, and this, also that, this is just an example, and that. These are our bounds, so we'll project those lines. So now we can go and hide all of those items, and that rough square is provided for us. So I can press L, line, and sometimes you have to zoom all the way in to make a, cooperate. To make a straight line, sometimes you have to zoom in a bit, and don't even need to worry about it. Like we don't have to worry about making sure that it lines up perfectly. As long as you go past and it's 90 degrees. So that's 89, cooperate, thank you, 90 degrees. Yeah. So then again, back this way, 90 degrees. And I can press ESC here if you're on Windows, and it'll get out of that menu. You can even go out further and see the little, I'm trying to show you with my fingers, but I have the video disabled. See the little blue dashed lines? Those indicate that it's equal. So if you're off and you're not seeing that, then you're not equal to or parallel to that line that you started on. But now that you're parallel to it, you can just click and you know that that's a right angle there, that this here is a right angle to that. You know that you're square, which is important. So then again, right here, and now you see this is all highlighted, so it's square. So we're going to select that and that. Now the measurements that I have, I know that I need to fit a fitting right here, which I haven't modeled it. Let's see. I don't remember if I modeled it or not. I have a bunch of of a whole bunch of older models that are in here by no names in specific. And no, I know for a fact that I've modeled this somewhere. Oh, right here. So I have this fitting, which is the normal pneumatic fitting, and we want, in this example, because this is just an example, we're not really doing this, we want this to be we want it to be able to screw all the way in and not have to worry about these faces whenever we screw it in, because we're attaching to the hot end here. So this, as it is, would go in, but then if we make an extrude that is simply directly off of that, then we'll be making it where it will hit it right here. So it would hit whenever we try to screw it in right there. So what we want to do, now that we have this object that I put in earlier, or you could just take your calipers and measure it. Let's see. We'll do this. So I'm going to press that line right there. I'm going to go to the opposite. I'm going to select this other line, because this isn't placed perfectly in the center. So we can see the minimum distance is like right around 11.5. So then we want this circle that is basically, we can hide that now. We want this circle to be more than 11.5. So then make this 12. From past experience, these screw holes are fine. And so now there's this 12 millimeter hole that can screw all the way in just fine. We can extrude this however far we want. So we want to make sure that that is selected. So Q, and the big reason that I'm showing you this tip is offset planes. So we want to have an offset of 0.2 approximately. The 0.2 is usually my go-to. 0.1, you could even do like 0.00. Oops. Even do like 0.005, and that would work. But your goal is that there be a tiny, tiny space between your original object and your new object. And the idea is that you're 3D printing, so then this way there's something that's real world. So 0.2, and then we're going to do 3. Okay, so we have our screw holes. You would wait for this to load. We have our screw holes, and we have our box shape. So now we're going to go ahead, and what I'll do is I'll hide and show the different features of the print. And so the next step is we need air from here and there down to here. So what we can do, I'll go ahead and hide this 40 by 40 fan. We can create a sketch off of these bounds that are right here. And then we're going to be working with this to this, and this, and this. So P for project. So now we've got these lines right here. And so this is our distance that we have that we're working with right there. So we can go, another good tip is center lines. So this, the hot end is exactly at the center of this. I know that because I've already placed the model, so you don't have to worry about that. But the hot end is centered. This is centered. I rotated it. Normally in the regular G-Tech printers, this is the other direction. But this is centered. So we can trust P for project. We can trust that this line right here, where the triangle is, that no, we can trust that that is in the center. So I can click right there and I can make my line, and that is a center mark. Now I could press X to make it into a construction line. Really, that's what this is it's a construction line. We're going to use it for a mirror. So then, let's see, we want air to go from here down to there. So in real world applications, we need, honestly, right here, we need about 0.2 millimeters. So that was a little bit of screw up because I put this directly right next to that fan. And what's going to happen is that you're going to print this and you're going to remake it, and you're going to print this and you're going to remake it. So finish sketch, because we need to go back in time. So back over here, I have this sketch. You can see it right there. So what I can do is I can either scroll this back, or I can double click on here, and that'll take us back to this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the O for offset, which I apparently just pissed off the program. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new line. I'm going to make it a little bit further too. So this one, offset, and see how it's on this side? All these numbers are positive. I'm going to select these, so -0.2. There. It's a really tiny amount, but it is a negative. It's on the other side. So now do the same. Click this. Go over here. I'm going to go a bit further just so it's easier to select. Oops. Do that. Okay. Now that, see the funny business? That was off. So L. So that is together and 90 degrees. We're good. Okay. Now offset. Now notice this is on the side that we want it on, so it's a positive number. So we'll make this 0.2. Again, do it on this side. No, it didn't really matter right there, but it matters. So again, right here, we'll do that. Offset, press O for offset. It's on the wrong side, so we want this to be -0.2. And then lastly, this, wait for it. This is when I would go and browse Facebook, except that I'm also filming a video. Okay. That and offset. It's on that side. We just have to press 0.2. And we're good. So we'll press finish sketch. And what we want to verify is that it's actually been a good little print and gotten off where we want it. Well, no, see how those are exactly, there's zero distance between that. So we'll double click on this and we're going to deselect. Now we're going to need to make our sketch reappear. and we're going to select this, and then we're going to select this. And if we made any edits in here, we'd want to go ahead and do that. Now, whenever I was making the selection, I held down my control key. I don't know what that is for Mac, probably something similar, but I held down my control key. Click OK. And now, if you'll notice, there's a little itty bitty gap, which is exactly what we want. So now we can go back over here and take a look at this. See how this is yellow? There's a warning. So the reference plane is lost. Now, this little red thing I am fairly sure is a new feature, which I am happy about. We can go over here and redefine sketch plane, and then select that. Now, this is why time travel, you want to be really careful, because you can screw things up badly if you time travel and you screw up. So we have our sketch, and we have our green little things. For whatever reason they're green. We have our construction mark, and then let's go ahead and make another construction mark. Oh yeah, we need to actually select our sketch. There we go, sketch select. And so this is a thing that I've made before. So I know that this nozzle, I know that it is a flat surface. It has a center point. I'm going to go ahead and select that line. P for project. And I'm going to make a line starting there. Now, you notice whenever you're really close up, it is very slow. So it's to your advantage just to scroll out as far as you can and then make a line out. So I'm at that line, click it, and then I'm going to click here and press X to make that a construction line, so whenever we make sketches it won't apply. Now you can also see here, this is the previous version of one that I've done. We're not going to use that though. For kicks and giggles, we're making a new one. So now we're going to start over here, and we want to make sure it is not a construction line. And so it is not, and we're going to go all the way down. So this right here, this guy is a heat shield. And so we want to actually lock this in place. So I'm going to take this right around there. Okay. And then I'm going to select this, project it, P for project, offset it by 0.35, make it something unique. So then L again, over here. And so now this is attached to that. So we're fine, and we're wanting to spit air at this, but we also want to make sure that that this assembly will be able to slide right in. So we'll go, I don't know, I'll pick something by random, 80 degrees and 18.1. Yeah, that'll work. So then we have that line, and we'll do this at, I'm doing it 40, no, it's 45. Let's see, 45. So you notice I have a line here. I'm honestly bad with numbers and reverse. So then this direction would be some high number. And so I want it to be the exact opposite of 45 degrees, which I don't keep some numbers in my head. That's just me. So we'll wait for this to load. I don't know why. There's this whole history, so it's messing with all that stuff. In fact, let's see, sketches. As you can tell, I have done a ton of work on this. Hide all those previous sketches. We'll keep these in view. Okay, scroll all the way up. So I'm going to make that a sketch line. And now whenever I go this direction, if it's parallel to this line, you see those blue dash lines. So we want that parallel, and then we'll make this 3. And now that I'm looking at this, I don't want it at that angle. So I'm going to go down here, and I'll make this, do 110. I like to make it even numbers and 3. So now we'll delete that, press L for line, and I don't know, go up here. Now another option, which I'll go ahead and do because it'll make it pretty. Click here, and this is the curve line. So I'm going to click it somewhere around here, and then you'll notice how it's curving, and it will end up where you click, which we want this to be around there, and then we'll click OK. Now, that's not much of a curve, but now you can go, press ESC, and you can actually modify these lines to be whatever you want or need them to be. That's sort of, honestly, a little bit ugly. So, I don't really like that. Let's see, move. See how this line here, that's making it parallel, and we don't want that, so we can delete that. So then, I don't know, bring that up there and short. That's good. Okay, so then over here, that's not good. So we will either need to adjust this, yeah, we'll adjust that. And now this is already on the same line as this, but like over here, we want 0.2. So we'll press D for distance, our dimension, and then we'll click here, that dot, that dot. Nope, we do not want there and this. If this is going to cooperate. Okay, I'm trying to do something out. There we go. Okay. So 0.2. So that is now 0.2 millimeters away from there. Let's go ahead and press L for line. We're going to make a new line. We want it to match up with this one. So we'll press L for line and up. And then we're going to go ahead and click this dot. Now there are a number of ways you could do this, but the one that I will do is collinear. So press collinear with this line, and this. Okay, or not. We're not going to do it that way. Distance. Nope, I lied. We are just going, so okay. You're going to freak out. We're going to do this. There are 50 million ways you can do something in Fusion, which is so cool. So I made that a construction line. I do not want this to be a construction line. So like, okay, it matters, very much so, that you make sure that your design is featuring all the different good methods of design, but we are not doing that. I'm not going to care that this is not a black line. It matters, yes. It matters for future design purposes, yes, but we're not going to screw with it. There, we're done. The line is done. It's solid. It doesn't matter much for design purposes. It does matter later on. We can screw with it. Great. Okay, awesome. Now, another thing, now there's a lot of distance there. Now, I could care, and I could go and, like, I don't know, screw around with this, and, like, move things around and do offsets and stuff. All we're going to bother with right now is we're just making the outline of this shape. I lied. There are so many different ways you can do things in Fusion, but what we're actually going to do sorry, I'm figuring this out. So what we need air blowing at, oh, I can't use my fingers. We need air blowing around this area right here. So we need this shape, which is going to deliver the air once we shell it. I'm still recording? Still recording. Wow, 3 minutes. It's like a live stream or something. This is going to be a multi-part video. There, I decided it. Okay, we're going to do instead press Q, and we are. I'll show another trick. So I'm going to click over here. It's going to snap to there. Now that's not the distance we want this to be. But what that is giving us is this number, which we can use as a ballpark. So negative 24. So that is right on one side of this little thing. So we can delete that. And instead we can make this distance, I don't know, 5. Just because we're going to put something on there. Then we're going to press offset plane and negative whatever that number was. Okay. Negative 25. Negative. There we go. So now negative 25 does this. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and make this symmetrical. Yeah. And you can see our problem. We'll make this 2 sides. Yeah. So I really could care and make this some, I don't know, exact distance. We are wanting a cooler, and like, sure, it matters how far and whatever, but I don't know. I mean, like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, and that's sort of the point of this video, is to show that things matter, but they don't matter. I'll make that a little bit, make that 9, and then we'll make this side 14. So I'm just eyeballing this, and I'm eyeballing this based on previous designs that I've done and things along those lines. So that's good. Okay, great, awesome. So we're going to click OK. And so if you'll notice, oops, we went and we made a design that exactly fits. That's not good, because we need this to be a little bit bigger. Because what's going to happen is, let's go ahead and do what we would do. We're going to shell this, shell that body. We're gonna, for that matter, we don't want to shell this top layer, but whatever. We're going to shell it, make a 2mm shell. So now, in fact, we can do this the proper way. Make those things go away. We can even better. Let's split this body. Click that line right there. Splitting tool, this guy, split. Great. We have I forget that it works like that. Okay. Create offset plane. Exactly where we're at. Show construction and cut body. We're going to cut that body with this tool. Okay, great. Awesome. I'll hide those construction lines. So now we're going to go split body, cancel, split that one, and 2, 1. So we've made this shelled out feature. Oh, look. That's why you don't always do that, because we have that. But whatever. The point being, because we're not going to go very far with this, is we shell this out, and we have this blower fan. This blower fan, which we'll do an analysis. We'll do a different analysis. Let's see. Yeah. This blower fan is one, not the right size. Two, this thing is too big. So we needed this to be a little bit further out. So we'll do what we could have done before. I'm literally showing you how I design, which is drunk designing. And I haven't had any alcohol for a little while now, but I did have alcohol earlier. So anyway, let's go back in time, because that stuff is stupid. Okay. Further, wait for it. Yeah, very nice feature. Okay, forward one. All right. So we're back here, and we have this, which I very carefully made it to be 0.2 millimeters outside of here, which is honestly, so what are you going to have printing? You're going to have like 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters shell, something like that. So we're going to go ahead and select those, that, yeah, okay, great. And then offset, for offset. And then it's on the wrong side, so over here, and we're going to make that a -2. Kicks and giggles. Okay, now you notice this line didn't extend, so we're going to press L, go out, and that is not solid. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I really want to continue that curve to over here. I want to make this all curved nice and pretty. Doesn't matter. Just, you're 3D printing. Just freaking make a line and connect them. Great. Awesome. Glad we had this talk. Another line over here. L. Go over here. Look. It's a line. It's connecting them. It's offset. Great. Awesome. Glad we had this talk. Now, again, look at that. That's bad. So we're gonna, now, if you remember what this is, that, oh wait, we don't want to actually want to do that. This right here, hot end, that is the bottom of the hot end. That's not where I want that line. So we're going to select this, offset, and make that 0.5. Yeah, 0.5. 0.5 is a good line. Okay, great. Now, if you notice, that's now selectable. And there's nothing weird going on. There's a curved line, straight line. Great, great, awesome. Now, we also want this on the other side, and I happen to know that that's mirrored. This is the exact same size. Now, if you're making something that is not mirrored, or whatever, the hot end isn't mirrored, or I don't know, whatever, it's not mirrored, then you want to do something else. But it's mirrored, so we're going to select everything. Now, this is where being careful what you make. This is where making that line that actually connects is a good idea, but we're not doing that, so whatever. Click there, click here, click there, there, click that. Okay, great. I think everything's done. Create mirror, and you already have what you're selecting. Select, and let's click OK. Now, oh, see that? Now we know that something went wrong somewhere, and it was this. And we can even see why. See that little bitty line there? That wasn't mirrored. Now I have two choices. I could either go press L and click here, click there, and now that's selectable. I press Control Z, because instead I'm going to do the smart thing. Create and mirror, and select this center line, click OK, Now what I've done is now this line is mirrored, and that is important because I can now go over here, click this line, and move it however I want. And then click over here, and if you'll notice, that has moved as well. And that's important because any of these numbers, we can change it 20, if we wanted, change that to 2 millimeters, which apparently is freaking out because I can't do that, but whatever, you get the point. You know, -1, if anything wants to change. No, you don't have to change. Okay, great. There are different reasons that it won't change. Whatever, doesn't matter. I don't care. Okay, great. Finish sketch. Now, you notice that still is in the shape of the other thing that we're doing. Okay, great. So we're going to double click on this. Keep on double clicking because it's computing. By the way, save often, because whenever you've got a sketch and a file that is this big, Fusion likes to freak out and freeze and die. Waiting, waiting. This is when you open a manga and read it. This is when you watch an anime. This is when you have a second device you can entertain yourself on. Oh, hey, look, you're live. Edit feature. That's the other way to do it. Okay, great. Awesome. Now, click over here, hold down Control, click the shiny object, hold down Control, click the shiny object, and take a look at that. Good. Now, if you notice, it's shiny and blue, or black. Now, these are linked objects. This is a mirrored object. It's not linked. So that means it is trying to join with this fan. That's not good. New body. Makes it where it won't join with the fan. Thanks, fan. Awesome. So, click OK. Now, if you notice, I am not caring about that. I'm not caring that those don't connect. I'm not caring that this shape is not the same as that shape. There's a reason why, and that's for part 2, because it is currently 2:40 a.m. at my central location. So, I'm going to stop the video, and we're going to continue on this later. I'm going to save as, because click save, and we're going to watch this for the next time. Oh, hey, look. Notice that? See what I didn't mirror? Let's see what happens if I click the sketch. So what I need to mirror is this line. Create, mirror, select this. Okay. Now let's see what happens with that line included. Now it didn't do it automatically. You can edit the feature, and we're going to hold down Control, and we're going to click that spot right there. Bam. There we go. Now, honestly, doing curves like this in a 3D print where we're most likely going to print this upside down. It's the direction that's showing the best to print for that matter. Let's go over here to this. No, we're going to... I'm going to make this video a 45-minute video, aren't I? Oh, well. Move that over. So this is the hot end that I designed while not making it a tutorial how-to video. Okay, don't move. There we go. Slice. So what I have done with this file is I've designed it with the idea of it being printed from the bottom. So if you'll notice, there are not very many features that don't start from the bottom here. Those do. And there are curves. And Angus on Maker's Muse, he made a very good point that chamfers do much, much better So in other words, let's see, these features, see that right there, that's a chamfer. Those features do much better than curved on the y-axis, so the up and the down. Now the chamfers, or the curve features, they do great along the XY axis. So here, that's going to do great. But then this, you're going to see a lot of the triangles. So we zoom all the way in, and you see the little triangles right there. In fact, we could preview. Wait for it. Let's process layers. Whenever we go to preview, if you'll notice, zoom out. If you'll notice, you can even see a little bit bumpy nature of that. But yeah, what's going on there? Okay, well, we're not actually printing this, so that's weirdness with the settings. Whatever. I have a feeling that there was a point that I was telling here. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna end this video now. I'll tell more later. Have a good day.